Hi, folks. How are ya? Oh, hanging in there. Thank you very much, don't you know? I saw that. I don't blame you. Joking. I checked out her channel that you just sent me the link to. She's pretty easy to fall in love with, I think, both visually and aura wise, and then, of course, talent wise. So she's recreated the triple threat, I guess. I assume sleeping. I assume he's sleeping. I slept a mass majority of today trying to feel a little bit better. And so he likely was buzzing around then. Well, I mean, maybe, but you're so talented on your own that if you just spend time with your own talents and abilities, you will start drawing people towards you that match. And it's not like you don't already have those talents abilities, but you just don't spend time on them, which means it doesn't generate any momentum towards towards pulling those people towards you. You won't have to look very far if you just start cultivating it in yourself, and you'll enjoy it. Hold on, Kat. I'll send you a link. She is a guitarist. Here, hold on. Okay, here we go. Oh, crap. Hold on. I copied and pasted it and then messed up. And then was about to send you all this stuff from job applications earlier. Copy and paste it. That would have been a lot. Okay, here. That's the right thing. But yeah, you won't feel like you need that energy because you are that energy, and then you'll pull more of it towards you. Or you could, I guess you could look around too and see if anybody locally is like looking for guitarists, or if anybody online, because people now have jam sessions online. You could try and find somebody to like jam with online. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's a redhead lover. I used to draw a lot of those in, but only because I was contractually a redhead for like several decades, and they are definitely a certain type of um, energy. The ones that are liking of the redheads, of course, nothing is universal, but in speaking in generalities, those that are interested in drawing in the redheads are definitely their own unique, specific type of energy as well. Right. But the question then is, did she appear to inspire you into your own, in spending time lavishing in your own abilities and skills and in enhancing them, or did and was she the best bait that was available, you know, to do so, or or um, is it about romance? I mean, it could be about both. It could be about stirring both types of energy into your world. But considering that um, you have all of the same abilities, I would think about getting my guitar out. I mean, you were carrying it around just yesterday or the day before or whatever. I didn't check out her. Now I'm gonna go back to her channel, see if she does any she has any chording tutorials or anything like that. I don't want to get copyright hit by playing her stuff here. Let's see her playlists. Okay, they appear to be albums, I think. Hold on here. They're telling me. Oh, she's an older. Hold on, what's this? An older channel. They're telling me we should look up her name on the TikTok. Hi, Pix. I'm sorry, Cat. I don't think I did either because then I just wanted to lay down all day. Like, I don't feel well. Also, anytime I get close to treatment time, like, I sleep a few days in advance. Like, I think it's because I'm bummed out. And then also, I just don't want to think about it. And I avoid thinking about it by being asleep. Vargas. Okay, hold on. I'm looking on the TikTok. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness, she does have a TikTok, but it's not very many people. 9 followers. I'm not sure. You should check out. It certainly looks like you might be able to interact on the TikTok because she doesn't have that many people. Oh, I mean, I think she's very talented. I think it's likely that she just isn't as interested in the other platform because she would be able to generate heat anywhere, I think. She's more gentle than the type of redheads I crush over. I have a huge Love Jones for Sophie Hunter, like hard. Pix, how are you? You did peeking in eyes and a wave. Are you okay? Hold on, I'm going to send you a Sophie Hunter just because you sent me someone. My problem with her is I just don't even know which favorite to send. Let's see here. I hope I don't get stricken by having these things in the background here. Oh, I assume we mean your eldest son. Oh, interesting. So he called a parlay. What was up? Girl, where's some of your stuff? Okay, here's. I can't decide, so I'm going to send you 3 because I can only narrow it down to 3. Yeah. Okay. I've got my top 3. Here we go. Like I sent you 1, 2. Let's find 3. Come on. Come on. Yeah, okay. And anything that you see here, she hath written. Did he get to well, all of those 3 are shorts, Joseph, so they should be under 20 seconds apiece. So it shouldn't take too much time, and then you can explore, on your own time. But I didn't want to burn your time through, so I sent you shorts. But did he get to see his twinny twin twin? Is it due to weather? I don't think you seem off. Maybe quieter energy, like your energy's more still or something. Possible bad weather. I know everybody has their own thing to do when they feel that way, but I go dancing with my guides, like metaphysically, and it's really fun. I mean, I know you're sick of hearing it from this group, but you're way too young to be thinking of that. Again, it's not because young people can't have lasting forever love. Some of them do, but often adventurous spirits, such as yourself, have pumped a lot of energy into being adventurous and cultivating other energies, and so then it takes and they've seen more of themselves, not necessarily more of the world, but more of themselves. So they have a lot more specificity um, that's important to them in a partner, right? They may be try like I've seen you try, and everyone in this room has tried to ignore that knowledge, right? To be like, well, this is a good person and that's good enough, and it's all fine and dandy, right? Like I shouldn't be so picky, and it's not, at the end, everyone finds out it's not really pickiness, right? It's a knowingness of yourself, right? You know some areas of yourself from being adventurous, from challenging yourself, from trying a lot of different things, little nuanced corners that some people don't ever get to know or don't care to know about themselves. And then so that you know yourself in a fine-tuned way, so that when your edges don't align with their edges, you notice it more accurately because you know where you end and begin as an energy body way more thoroughly than some people do. That makes it harder to find a partner. But when you find some that are even remotely close to aligning in that fine-tuned kind of way, it's way more fun and super worth the wait. Interesting. I don't know if you're speaking to Joseph or me, Pixie, but I'm sure either one of us would love to talk to youngest. Both of the H's are awesome kids. Yeah, I don't think it's picky, Joseph. I think it's that you've seen what it looks like when your own energy body really is flowing along with the universe. You've seen almost on a molecular level what that can look like. And so you can genuinely deeply love some people and and be in a lot of different types of relationships with them. But when you're talking in a more final way, and when you're somebody that, especially somebody that only really wants to have one person, you know, waiting for your energy bodies to dance on the edges the way that you know yours can, is a worthy and worthwhile endeavor. Yeah, I'm sure too. But he's excited about this person, and I think that that's cute. And I mean, I think that he already has a lot of sense in a lot of areas that people his age don't have, and so um, it may not be his forever pick, but it's a fairly quality one. Well, that's yeah. That's more reason for then him to be excited, because when he picked someone that was, that had some of the qualities he was interested in and he had a good time, I'm sure he's like, oh my God, what else is out there? But also, don't you think like there wasn't a lot of options in town, and moving even just a little farther away gave him, like, opened up his pool way more than he's ever experienced in his life? I mean, honestly, it's not even about orientation in this case, because the town is just so small. Moving would open up anybody there's pool considerably. Yeah, you mentioned you thought it would probably be completed if that person decided to take a different that position. But again, that's sensible. A lot of people in that age group would be like, "We're doing a long distance because we're passionate and we can do this." And he's got such a good on his shoulders. He's like, "Too soon, too young. If it's supposed to be, it'll circle back around." I can't imagine being that sensible before I could legally drink, or even now. What did you think of it overall, doing long distance for 6 years? Like, I'm curious, what were your thoughts before, during, and after? I had a feeling it was going to have to do with being in the service. Yeah, see, I mean, I was definitely not in a nearly noble profession, but I was traveling a lot. And even when I was not traveling, I had a job that opposed a lot of normal people's natural work schedules and things. But yeah, yeah, long distance. I'm not saying it's impossible. I think if people, especially like if people have already been together a long enough time to really establish their rhythm and to really know their energy together and that kind of stuff. But if it happens really early on, that's a rare situation that's going to last. Especially in the internet age, I think. Yeah, it's interesting. That um, I assume she's your biggest sort of head case in your history, but whenever you get a reading that's I don't know, romance oriented or something like that, that girl, the frenetic one, right? The sort of one that has violent tendencies and like a stalkery tendencies and just really that aggressive. Her energy actually comes up a lot of different times. It's come up a lot of different times when we've just sort of looked at your cards casually, especially in relationships, not like as an option or anything, but as like still looming over as like your number one fear, if that makes sense. But she shows up like so, and I always go, oh god, she must have been a lot in order for like her to still be appearing as like angry static on the edges of your relationship readings. But like she must have been one of those kind of girls that like wants to crack your windshield and key your car and fight whoever's next and all this stuff just because it's crazy energy. Well, I think that's great. I mean, that's good advice for everyone picks, but when he's so passionate about his career, like it's not like he's like, I'm starting working because I want to establish a family life. I mean, he maybe wants to establish a family life down the road, but it's not just like he wants to get steady and stable to have a family life. He is passionate about his work. So, it makes sense um, to focus on one thing at a time. It's like that would be like having two intense romances simultaneously. Um, you know, if he was doing both at the same time, and he's going to have to inevitably be with somebody that they don't have to be in the same line of work, but they have to understand it. They're going to have to really understand it just because of how much energy it takes and the fact that like it's people's lives he's dealing with and the intensity of it all. They're going to have to be people that understand the nature of his work. My friend Chris, he's non-physical. we were really close for, gosh, 15 years or something. He's talking right now because actually, like, we met doing theater, and he was very good at theater, and he was quite passionate about it. But his other equivocal passion was being an emergency medical technician, and um, and that is something he did up until his death, his very young death, but his death. And so he was peeking around the corner just now when we were talking about your kiddo, because well, number one, I think I think he's like, damn, he's cute. Why couldn't we have coexisted at the same time in physical? No, I just got pinched for that. He's like, I'm not perving on the youngsters. But anyway, he admires it though. He admires it, and oh, he's saying he's envious that your kiddo's still out there and that he'll check in on him. Like, he'll check in and send energy. And are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to just go sometimes? Okay, so sometimes he'll be checking in. Oh, I said something about your ex. Actually, joking is what you missed. I was talking about how um, she must have been pretty nuts because she always shows up. Anytime we've done even just like a casual read on relationships for you, she shows up along the edges. And, it's already in the stream, but basically I just said she shows up along the edges, not like somebody you're interested in, but like almost like your greatest fear. And it's almost like this sort of crackling static of energy around the edges of any relationship reading you've ever had. And so I always think, my gosh, she must have been a handful. So then I said she must have been the kind that like cracks windshields and tries to fight whoever you date next. And it seems like it must have been pretty intense in wackadoo land sometimes. She's out of your life, but it's like, so she's not in your read staying in your life. She's in your read like um it's like it's always crackling there as like a sign, and it's like the polarized magnet that you want to propel away from, if that makes sense. Yeah, you'll hear earlier I said I called her a stalker, and um or I didn't call her one. I said I assume she must have been one. But she appears almost like just to represent the thing that you absolutely don't ever want to encounter again. Oh, see, and then with the lag, your sentence, something I never want to go through again, it popped up just now. Oh my goodness, February 16th. I guess I never put that together. That's my brother's birthday, Pixie. Hi, Claudia. I bet, because she was likely always trying to get violent, and you were trying to defend yourself, and you were scared she was going to flip the script. Hold on, guys. I need to mute and take medication. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Woo! But yeah, I bet you, I mean, I'd be terrified. Oh, I'll be right back. But that's so sweet, his kitty cat. And I totally believe that, Joseph, just because I have no idea. Occasionally I've gotten like a little flash of what she might have looked like, but that's irrelevant. What's relevant is like I get like anxious when I feel that energy. I can't imagine trying to, when you're not somebody that puts your hands on people, but she is, and she's just comfortable with dishonesty. Oh, that's got to be a scary situation. Yeah, well, they bought her crap. I bet you, I bet you years later, though, she's told that story enough times that anyone around the precinct knows different now. Right, but verbally. Anyway, I'm going to go take my meds. I'll be back. I don't know what you people are thinking. I'm never I'm never in bed. Never ever. I am never in my bed. You 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 women, why are you in bed? Why don't you get out of bed? I'm never in bed. This is my office. I'm very professional here in my business park on my cool YouTube set. Shoe of the day. My throne. My bed throne. Wanna catch Let's catch the shoe of the day. We'll lay all the way down. Here's the shoe of the day. Shoe of the day. Shoe of the day. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do boop boop. Not in bed though, on my professional soundstage. Jeez Louise. I'm a fan of them. They make me think of like Sherlock Holmes' overcoat because they're this weird, like, sort of cloth fabric plaid thing, and then this little strappy thing looks like his belt. It's like his or Watson maybe. I think Watson wore the plaid coat. Nope, they're just built in. It's the shoe. I usually do wear socks. I have these orange socks that go up to the knees that have like 100 white sheep on them and one black sheep, and I often wear those with these shoes if I'm actually out in the world. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could wear mine for any length of time as well. I have so many and I lived in them for so long. And, who knows, maybe again someday, but and certainly it was when I was in the wheelchair I could wear them. So, like, I got constant use out of them, and then had a period of time where I was on the walker, and then when I had my wheelchair years, I got to go at least back to the fun shoes because why not? But I'm not complaining that I'm capable of walking at this point. So yeah, this is shoe. This is shoe. Yeah, it's all fabric. This part is pasty me. This part is pasty me. And then they've got peep toes. But pasty me matches the white of the fabric anyway. Let's turn this off. No one needs this. Boom. I do too. I haven't worn a lot of orange, but I do like it. It was my kiddo. His first favorite color was orange, actually. In our other house, the house that I got, like on, you know, before family and stuff, I painted my bathroom black and orange, and I loved it very much. The only place I ever really wore orange, I had copper hair a lot of times, contractually. Sometimes auburn, but usually more like coppery or coppery, like red head. But then wearing orange would be way too much with that. Yeah, it would look good with that color teal. That'd be pretty. Ooh, fun. Happiness orange. That sounds pretty. You can always throw out a thought, Claudia. Pixie, the picture hasn't come yet, but I can't wait to see it. Well, with the amount of anxiety you experience, Claudia, it would be hard to imagine that there isn't also depression because you'd be swinging from usually it's swinging from one extreme to the other. So it'd be surprising. Your shoe day is comfortable. I like your shoe of the day. I also like your blanket that looks like a clouds. Would that I ask gently, would that be surprising to you, Claudia? Like, is the thought that you have depression, is that a new thought for you? And oh, I guess my other question is what does drinking or drugging have to do with it in your head, I mean, in your thought process? To find new? I mean, is it a new idea to you? Just in general, not like did it hit you 30 seconds ago? I just mean in recent days or weeks or months or something, is the concept of you being depressed a new idea to you? Yeah, no, I don't think we would. It's they're two very distinctly different things. People that drink and use drugs, they can be depressed, but not necessarily. And generally speaking, the drugs and the drinking aren't what caused the depression. They had that before they started drugging and drinking. What do you mean you were past tense? I was on meds. How long ago did you stop them? And were you supposed to? Why did you stop them? I guess also the other question that would be important would be like, um, uh, how long were you on them before you stopped them? Yeah, I mean, but is a while because see, a while is so different. Some of us, like for me especially, like in the past, maybe not so much anymore, but it used to be my life moved so quickly. My job was to do things quickly, right? And things moved quickly. Um, and timing was everything, right? So a while back, in that chunk of my life, 3 months could have been a while, right? Whereas, you know, to some people, a few years. Okay. So, um, how did you feel when you were on them? You must have felt pretty okay if you wanted to see if you could go off of them, right? So they got you to a place where you were feeling pretty good. So you thought, I feel okay. I'm asking. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying, is this what happened? You felt better, so you thought maybe I can do without. Because that's a pretty common thing that I think all of us have probably done with some medication or another. Where it's like, I feel better. I'm going to stop taking that medicine. And then it's like, oh man, you dummy. Meaning, I'm talking to myself, right? You dummy. The reason you felt better was because of that medicine. And how you could rationalize that now you can stop it because you feel better, right? I mean, it makes sense in some ways, right? Because when we're little kids growing up, you take medicine until you feel better because it's the type of medicine you take when you have a cold or strep throat or whatever. So our young brains are trained that the medicine stops when you feel better. But then there are some conditions where the medicine can't ever stop. Well, so but if you were put on it when you were diagnosed with MS, was it like a combo medication where it was for both? Where like was it a neuromed where it was for both symptoms of MS and also could treat depression? Or was it a separate medication? Like, were you on separate medications for different things? In 95. Okay, so how long ago Were you on the exact same dosage and medication since 1995? You know, what's weird is I know a lot of medicines. I don't know that one. I wonder if it's got another name. You know how a lot of them have like multiple names. And then, so, okay, you took a shot daily for him, like, until, like, 2022? Or, oh, okay, so, what med did you recently stop taking? And how long were you on the Paxil? And what with the Paxil, first of all, you were right to step down because holy heck. But what made you stop that? Were you feeling better or like it didn't do anything or like you didn't like the side effects? So, do you remember like when you first started the Paxil? Um, do you remember the point at which it started to have effect and you felt it? Like, did it make you feel better after, a certain point of taking it? Welcome back, Joe King. Well, okay, so define better. Okay, so um, the doc obviously scribed it for you because you were having most of the people I've known on Paxil specifically, they maybe they were having swings, but anxiety was a primary feature, right? And so something is going on noticeably enough that the doc thought, hey, we should be trying this, right? Um, so once you got up to the proper dosage for you and figured that out and sort of settled in, did you feel less intense feelings of whatever it was you reported to the doctor that they were trying to help? Well, okay, so before you got used, I didn't think about it. I know that may sound odd. So, but before that, you must have thought about how you felt and reported it to the doctor, right? So, like you must have been thinking about not feeling great or calm or happy or whatever it was at the time, right? And you reported that, and then they gave you medication, and then you stopped thinking about it, which to me would indicate sort of that you leveled off, right? I'll send her I'll send Pixie the link to the girl, Joe. Mostly just because texting's faster. Okay, I sent it. Panic attacks. Okay, yeah. Well, that's noticeable for sure, right? For certain, those would be noticeable. Pix, I sent you a link to um, his current crush, or his talent crush, I guess might be even better way to phrase it. Yeah, the Sophie who Hunter that I linked you to, she's one of my primary girl crushes. My other one, oh my gosh, is Stanzi Potenza, who she's a YouTuber as well. See if I can find. She does sketch comedy, and one of my favorite. She's got a lot of good characters, but one of my favorite of hers is the serial killer who just super duper just wants to be a serial killer, but every time he kidnaps somebody, they are so high maintenance that he just winds up letting them go. So it's always like kidnapped the musical theater kid who's working on scene work. I'm trying to find it here. All of the characters are good. Let's see here. Her sketches about the purge are pretty funny too. I'm trying to find just one. Doesn't have to be all of them. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. Don't worry. I'm having trouble on most apps with loading today. I'm gonna find it and then I can look back up at the screen. Here's one. Oh, Joe Black. I'm sorry. I don't know how long you've been here because I was looking down at my phone sharing something. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. There we go. Okay. I can let Joe Black in. I'm sorry, Joe Black.
Oh, no, no, no. It's fine. I'm sorry I'm late.
It's okay. You were sleeping. I'm assuming. Okay, hold on here.
I
Let's see.
did. I was, yes.
Let's see here. Um, she's pretty good on that guitar. That's where I got lost. Very good. My boys turned me on to Lindsay Sterling. Oh, when they start high school, yeah, she is a badass. But yeah, mine's Limp Bizkit. I saw her in a concert with Amy Lee. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Taylor Momsen. Yeah, and then she played like I didn't watch Gossip Girl, but she played like she something on Gossip Girl, and then her music is Very different. So yeah, the question, Kat is right. The question was, you said you were having panic attacks. Claudia said, like, the question is, did it help your panic attacks? I think I already asked that, or like, did it help what it was for, or whatever. And then I got distracted trying to make sure I sent these links of my girl crushes. I was sending them Sophie Hunter, and Stanzi Potenza links. Joe,
Sophie Hunter. Who is
she's
Sophie
the
Hunter?
curly redheaded singer girl. You'll
Oh,
know who she is, at least visually, because I think you've gotten about like 94 different links of hers. Probably more than that.
that's uh, Derek Cumberbatch's wife, right? Um, Benedict Cumberbatch's wife.
Nope,
No?
nope. So we were talking about my girl crushes, right? One of them's on YouTube. She's a singer. She is always making up lyrics. Her name is Sophie Hunter. She's got curly red hair. She sings the song "Cunt."
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you used to know who she was. That's okay though. And then Stanzi Potenza, you know.
Yes, I know Stanley Potenza quite well. I love her Satan and God skits.
Yeah, I think I sent the serial killer that always has to let their person go because they just can't. Still have yet to kidnap somebody that's like worth their time, right? Because it's always somebody that's so aggravating, or that they're just like, just go home. You're not worth it. You're not worth killing.
Yeah,
I believe in a thing
her
called love.
latest one her latest one was about this restaurant where the wait staff insults you.
Ed DeBevics, which is in Chicago, is, I mean, the real one, right? The real one is Ed DeBevics. Kat, you're an excellent room hostess. Joe just turned off his microphone.
Yeah, I looked up Sophie Hunter. I remember her now.
Yeah. I don't remember what the name of that game show is. It's a YouTube. Well, I don't know if it's a YouTube game show or not, but it is something that they have a lot of shorts of it on YouTube, and a lot of the YouTube like sketch comedians and character, comedic character type people that, like, I think have a Love Jones for wanting to be on SNL and stuff are on this game show, Joseph King. And I feel like, if you like, it's sort of a short, slightly modernized version of Whose Line, a little bit. Like, it's not like, um, they don't do long form improv, right? Or, specific games, but they are improving a lot. Is it called Mock the Week? Let's see.
No, Mock the Week is a UK show. I think
But
Dara
it,
O'Brien used to host it.
yeah, but it was sketch also. Okay, let's see. So, what is the one?
I
mm,
know what you're talking about. Um, and they change the game every episode. So you kind of have to figure out what the rules of the game is while they're playing it.
Yeah, and they often have to do impersonations, right? So it's like
Yes.
the like bored voiceover actors. Let's see if I can find it that way. Bored voiceover actors. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Game Changer. Hold on here. Game Changer. Game Changer, and it's Game Changer Shorts. Um, let's see here. That one with the voice actors is okay, but there's some that are
And
really excellent.
yeah, sometimes they even sing. Yeah. Yeah, like one they did Meryl Streep going door to door selling vacuum cleaners.
Oh yeah, that one was really good. Oh, I liked this one too. The girls from Euphoria trying to sell Girl Scout cookies. I'll send that one because that's something that Joe King could wind up on something like that if he wanted to.
You could wind up on something like that if you wanted to.
I'm a little old. Plus, I already did a lot of that. Um, I already did. I mean, not on that show, but Sketchfest in Chicago. Like it was before social media, largely, and so it was Sketchfest in Chicago and that kind of stuff. But I already got to.
I know. I mean, and I know it's very ironic coming from me, but you're not as old as you think, you know.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah, we are literally um, uh, in danger of food instability in my house, but I should grab onto yet another ridiculous to achieve dream. Like I'm going to have to drop this channel like within a week or two if nothing changes. And but I should go back to not acting where I could solidly get a job because I have connections and a long history doing that, but I should take the thing that I've done and recreate it and start from scratch right now. It's
No,
the
no,
right
no. I'm
time.
not saying that that's what you have to do, but I'm just saying that it's something that, you know, that you can do.
Oh, you meant me being hostess? Oh, no.
I know I just got here, but I'll be right back.
Drew Carey show. Well, I loved Mimi on the Drew Carey show. Well, I loved a couple. I loved all the secondary and tertiary characters on the Drew Carey show. Yeah, yeah. I loved, I owned a sketch comedy company. Like we were actually open more than a decade and had a permanent home for 8 of those years. And went to Sketchfest in Chicago, which I loved that because it was all different kinds, right, of improv and long form and sketch and um, isolated like character comedy, and it was like I really just enjoyed hanging out with the people almost more than anything else. It was great, of course, like it was good to be like to win awards and to get to like be the group that hosted and that kind of stuff, right? But at the end of the day, like it was hanging out with all the weirdos that made it fun. And for a while, the grant money that could come in through that. But then social media sort of shifted, and I think they still have. I'm sure they still must have that, but it became less. less of an honor, right? Because people could just be, constantly in front of people online instead of having to be live in order to make that happen. Oh, the height of fine. Yeah. Did Claudia did she just give up because I was juggling conversations, or did she just start texting you, cat? You don't need to be sorry, Joseph. We're hanging out. There's nothing wrong with group conversations. Okay. Well then, Claudia, I hope you're okay. I assumed because a lot of times you jump off and start texting, some of the people in the room and stuff. I just thought that that's what was going on. Um, but I hope everything's okay.
How is the bird?
Well, I've got her cloth over
Ah,
her.
okay.
Um, yeah, yeah, she's wearing her cloth, I guess. She's ensconced in blanket. Well, that's good. That's good because you won't be, first of all, but also it's just good that it released you so that you can enjoy other things and focus on other things. Uh, Joe Black, it's the Sherlock Holmes shoes. I already did my shoe of the day thingy majig, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the Sherlock Holmes ones, where they're wearing Watson's coat or whatever, and the Ben Watson's belt.
Yeah, yeah. It will go really good with his desk and cap.
Which, well, Sherlock had the wait. Sherlock had the
Sherlock had the desk and cap and the cape.
yeah. That's why I was like, I mean, his cape did have had a pattern, but Watson is the one that had the bigger checked, usually like well, we'd call them pea coats now, but it'd be like a double-breasted overcoat. Doctor Doctor Watson.
I guess the game is afoot.
The game is the foot. The foot is in the shoe. The shoe is reminiscent of a Sherlock Holmes cloaky
But
thing.
more accurate to your shoe is more accurate to Sherlock Hemlock.
That's true. I loved Sherlock Hemlock. He was not a very good detective, but he was very fashionable.
He was.
I have many, many pairs of shoes. I love my boots very much, though. I've lived in them. But most of these shoes so far that have turned up are ones that like I really wore an awful lot when I was able to. Yes, actually, it's interesting with psych. I didn't get into psych until like kind of recently in comparison to when it began on the television. But yeah, I thought it was really funny. I don't think I've seen like I don't think I've seen it all, in sequence, or I wasn't quite that passionate about it. But I also didn't find it until a window of time where I had less time. But yeah, I thought it was very funny what I could see of it, and certainly enjoyed both of the primary actors. It was like a more comedic version of The Mentalist, which I also loved. The Mentalist back in the day. Yeah, you've spoken at length on Bruce Campbell in the past. I don't know if we have a few bots in the house, but if we have a few folks that are being quiet, welcome to the room, and we hope you'll choose to speak and identify thyself.
Way back in the
When you feel
90s,
feel
Bruce
able.
Bruce Campbell had a series called The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
It was very funny.
I love this fluorite that I keep holding. It's my love. My love. Oh, so I don't think those were bots because he dropped out of the room like hot rocks. Hi, hand pink waving. Joseph King only remembers from about 1996 and forward.
Sounds about the time.
Right. Well, it sounds like he has childhood memories like we do.
Oh, well, no, it just
Oh, yeah,
predated him.
yeah.
It was from 93.
Right, but he was alive. He just doesn't have memories from then.
Right. Yeah, well, I'm talking about from his own date that he gave, 3 years before. Right. So when you were one, you know, it was on TV.
I wonder what pink waving is. I know that that was meant to be an emoji, right? Like hi, hand pink waving. But was it because it's a pink hand? That emoji. Hi, hand pink waving. Seventh heaven, dude. I'm old enough to be. Wait, hold on. Technically, I'm old enough to be his mom. I would have been a fairly young mother, but
A young mother.
it technically is a possibility. Face purple wide eyes. Face turquoise covering eyes. It's the colors that amaze me because I can't place like, I don't remember a lot of YouTube emojis that, I think they all are primarily yellow faces. So it's like, what does the pink part mean? Face blue wide eyes is one I think I just use on my own when we're in our chat room.
It's interesting because the emojis show up on YouTube, but not on StreamYard.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, because I'm looking only on StreamYard, so I just see face, red droopy eyes, face, turquoise covering eyes, face, blue wide eyes. You got this. Oh yeah, what is the emoticon movie? Let's see. Um, what was it called?
Wasn't Patrick Stewart in that?
Looking it up. Oh, the emoji movie. I looked it up as the emoticon movie, but it's the emoji movie. And yes, he is. He plays poop.
Oh, imagine him playing James Corden. That's ironic.
Huh?
Nothing.
You think James Corden is the only poop you could think of?
Well, he's not the only one, but he's a very authentic one, even by his own admission.
So the cast includes the character names, not the actors. Gene, meh, laughter, poop, jailbreak, high five, which is James Corden in that movie is high five, smiler, Akiko glitter. Done. I like these character names. Let's see.
And
Well, then
Sofia Vergara was in it as well.
Alex, Mary, meh, Flemencia, Stephen, Mel, meh, Gavel, Addie McAllister, which must have been the person, right? Spam, Internet Troll, Alien, Travis, Mr. Mr. Schnobellen, Ronnie Roundtech, Trojan Horse, Elephant, Red Wagon, Fist Bump, Additional Voices, Angel, Nerd, Ice Cream. I think everything else is additional voices. But that's quite, you know, it's like all of the gang members from West Side Story, right? That's what they sound like, sort of. Oh, okay. So you were talking about Inside Out. Yeah, the Emoji Movie though was about, but but you said emotions movie, didn't you? Not emoticons. Emotions, and I read emoticons. Oh yeah. Bing Bong was the name of the elephant, and yeah, he was.
Was he the imaginary friend?
Yeah, and he was played. I think wasn't he played by Richard Kind?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was. Which is just like you connect to that voice no matter what. You know what I mean? Like you could watch Mad About You, right? And 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 close your eyes and listen to Mark. because of it, just the way his voice work is functions, you know.
Yeah, it was well cast because Lewis Black was Anger. I mean,
It's
he
perfect.
yeah.
Spirited Away or Iron Giant, personal favorite animated movie. Cat orange whistling, hand green crystal ball. Oh, see now do see an emoji or an emoticon from Pixie. I'm not sure what it is. It's this one. Bullseye. Oops. Welcome in, whomever is watching. Welcome to you. We're glad you're here. We send you love and light. We would love it if you would self identify. We would greet you warmly and say hello. 9 hours ago, they were writing about that comet again.
Oh, really?
Yes, so the question is why? Are we going to be able to see it again? Or,
Well, it's visible still in the southern hemisphere, I believe.
let's see. After passing by Earth, the comet will make its closest approach of Mars on February the 10th.
Wow.
If clouds or inclement weather get in the way of skywatching, the Virtual Telescope Project will share a live stream of the comet in the skies. I'm clicking on that because I want to know when they are sharing that. The Telescope Project is the website. Here's this. We are playing with emojis. Come join us. They were like, nope, leaving. We out ya. Shuffle these little baby cards. They didn't get shuffled yesterday. Everyone else got shuffled. But this little mini deck, this little mini deck didn't. Do you know which of your decks? Or are you talking about my decks or your decks or both decks? Welcome back, room visitor 6. What's weird, Mr. King? It doesn't tell you what to ask, but they said ask a set of cards a question. Well, when they said that, did anything jump into your brain? I know if I asked my brain, like if you were going to ask just a random Joe King question, what would be one of your first ones? The first one that I would ask actually is that weird lady that approached you and told you to talk to, quote unquote, Gwen, right? Why was she watching you so closely? Why was that woman watching you so closely? That's what I'd want to know. Especially when I mean, it could be that this truck stop is in a slightly more populated area, but if it's not, right, then people all recognize each other at least to some degree, especially those that have a regulated schedule where they're coming and going at a fairly regular time of day and that kind of stuff. So, why was she watching? Well, I mean, I pointed out to him in the original reading, it said that she was still tied up in something. Now, I took that to mean like she was still healing from something, not literally tied up, but it was there, and that it's not a fun thing. So I feel sorry for quote unquote Gwen, or I think, but I wonder why that person was watching you. I get it. Like if they're just being silly, but like that's pretty extreme. It's not like you already bumped into them and you were talking anyway, and then they said, "Hey," right? No, they intentionally approached. So it's like I don't know. It makes my tummy feel funny. It because I'm already worried about the girl, right? Because it says like everything indicates she's in a yucky situation. It's like was that person asked to do that by the person she's in an uncomfortable relationship with? You know what I mean? It just makes me feel yucky. Or a possessive partner. Right. That's why it's weird. That's why it's weird to me too, Kat. It's just not how girls usually operate. So it's like either that girl that asked was somebody requested her to ask, or she herself is slightly in love with that girl, or she herself has her eye on Joe King because just as a joke, or as a friend thing in that situation, it's strange. And even for an off kilter female, it's an unusual approach. Ask her to kiss you at a flagpole. Come kiss me at the flagpole. No matter how you slice it, it's a weird game, though. Um, it makes me feel even more anxious for quote unquote Gwen. It's like, no wonder you presented as someone who was, you know, healing from a rough thing, or, enduring a rough thing. If that's her for real best friend, that's a weird dynamic. What do you mean? She asked you to kiss her at the flagpole, and what do you mean she didn't even bother to send a text to laugh at me? Not even a text to laugh at you. Are you sure that it was a prank? If she, um, if it's like, hey, meet me here, and then there was no follow up with them being dickheads, could it be that she just couldn't make it for other reasons, or do you somehow factually know that it was still a prank? Okay. I was just shuffling for funsies, but it wants these three cards out, so we'll bring them out. Oh, I want to clarify this little thing, even though it doesn't, I don't even know what it's from. You know, that flew right out like, pachoo. Yeah, I don't know who that was for. It was about, I was just shuffling while we were all talking, but it was about, basically, it was saying um, someone is practicing learning to control their inner magic in spite of the chaos around them, and that to not let the chaos make them feel separated from people, to not let the upset of the chaos separate them from people, and to seek a new, um, like a fresh course of study, like find a new, for lack of a better term, find a new guru to read. Specifically talked about books and finding like a new philosopher or spiritualist or something to read about, and like someone that you've never read before and have been meaning to, um, just and that it will bring all of those points together. It will help, um, it will be your collaborator as you learn to control, you know, your inner magic, basically. Yeah, it's been a rough one too, Kat. I love you very much, and I hope you have beautiful sleep and dreams. I think I'm hanging in for maybe 5 more minutes and then I'm out as well. Thank you for coming. You are very loved by everyone here, and I hope you feel better. I just laid in silence for most of the day, and I'm not even to treatment yet. Like, that's a day or two from now. Have beautiful sleep. Kiss your doggies and kitties. What are all the dot dot dots for, Mr. King? Was that message for you? I keep hearing this song I know about Nietzsche, so I wonder if somebody's supposed to be reading Nietzsche and why. Eddie's quiet at the moment. Yeah, you guys creep into the bed together and get snuggled before he starts fussing at you. Some Emerson and Thoreau. Well, then I guess it absolutely won't hurt if you were already intending to do so. I don't know why I'm hearing this song called Nietzsche's Eyes, though. Like, I'm not sure. It could just be my brain heard the word philosophers. Peace out. It's an old Paula Cole song, actually. She, like, I always felt like back in the day she got a bad rap because, she had that Where Have All the Cowboys song. And that's the only one that hit the radio, partially because the rest of her album was a little bit filthy. Um, the song itself, the Nietzsche song, isn't my favorite of hers, but the album, This Fire, I liked a lot back in the day. Here's the song that's not my favorite, but I don't remember the lyrics. The lyrics are here. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Stop it, phone.
Not very upbeat lyrics.
Yeah, I don't remember it. You know what I mean? Like, I just kept hearing it. There, that's one other one that's not as still probably pretty dated, but the label told Joe and Jet, you can't say I hate myself because I can't get laid. That's, I mean, especially considering her brand, that's really dumb of them, to be honest. Pixie, I hope you feel better. I've been feeling that your energy is similar to mine when mine sucks. And so I hope you feel better. I'm glad you got to see your bebe today and that your cat got to see his bebe. I hope your head feels better. They're saying um, Okay, they're telling me I gotta send you this pressure point for a headache. Sleep beautifully. Why is Nick Offerman trending? Did something happen? Oh, no, it's positive. They're saying it's the best acting of his career in The Last of Us. Pressure points for headache. On the hand is what I want to look for. That's what they keep talking about. Hmm. Okay, they're highlighting number 3 for Pixie and number 2. But they're all probably good. Okay, let's send this. There we go. Okay. And follow the instructions that the people in my head tell me to follow. It's okay to have your castles in the cloud, for that is where they should be. Now lay the foundation underneath. Mr. Emerson. I hope Miss Claudia just fell asleep like she does sometimes, because she was sort of mid story and we were all talking in the room about various things, but she didn't seem completely done. And, well, considering you're getting ready to read one or both, that makes sense that they got flip flopped. Joseph King, you're always in all, not always, but you have a few different chat rooms on the YouTube that you have frequented. Do you have other chat rooms you go to? My friend and I have this weird story where, for some reason, and we don't know why, but it happened to both of our phones, and we were not in the same space. So it's not like our phones, you know, our phones weren't listening like they do, and then syncing up because of that, because we were in two different locations at the time this happened. But I kept trying to text to her that something basically, quote unquote, like I was saying, it was a piece of shit, right? Is what I kept trying to say. And my phone kept autocorrecting shit to Walt Whitman, not just Whitman, Walt Whitman. And, 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 and so I kept saying, no, no, shit. And it was like, no, Walt Whitman, no, Walt Whitman. So, um, finally I separated the letters, so that she could see what I was trying to type. And she was like, oh my gosh, your phone auto corrected, shit to Walt Whitman. But instead, what she sent me was, oh my gosh, your phone auto corrected Walt Whitman to Walt Whitman. So her phone, 10 miles from where I am, also thought that Walt Whitman was shit, which was super weird. Do they have chat rooms? Are those message boards or are those chat rooms? I guess Discord for sure is chat rooms, but I didn't know DeviantArt had a chat room. I would have loved that back in the day. I guess some message boards update so fast that it's like a chat room. DeviantArt should have a chat room, though, now that I'm thinking on it. It would be really fun. And I guess does Reddit have chat rooms? It must, because I remember back in the day, not that long ago, I guess it really wasn't back in the day, but like a few years ago, like when I first started going to Mermaid's Room, she talked about how she used to do her like hanging out in her readings on Reddit, that she had moved to YouTube from Reddit. So there must have been some way to stream or chat or do something on Reddit that I don't know about.
I only know Reddit as message boards, but I haven't really explored it much, so it's
Right.
possible.
Well, and I mean, I guess it could have been message boards. I guess it could have been like if people were there updating really fast, right? Um,
Hmm.
that she could have been like, like first person to post, I'll read your question or something, or maybe like she did the same thing, like the format that a lot of people do, where they send in money, and it's like the order it was received or whatever. Were you one of her people on Reddit joking? Because I know, like at one point when I was thinking of just doing online readings, I went all the way back to her first videos to see, like, I wonder how someone starts, because some of the other people were here so long that going back to their first videos was like impossible. So I went back to her first videos, and she was talking about how she and Snarky had been over on Reddit and maybe somewhere else, I'm not sure, but that she'd had a page, or I don't know if it's like Discord where you can have a room like under your name, or a message board under your name or something.
Maybe she started a subreddit.
Is that like you can have your own page that just continuously runs where
I
people
think
talk?
so.
Oh, on the YouTube, a lot of people I know, well, most of the people I know from there came in during like the Summer Wells case. They came because she read that case early on a few times. But I think you were there before that, so. just a bit before. Oh, I think you were already a mod by the time I came in after her. It was her first Summer Wells reading, so it must have been at least a little bit longer than a bit if you because you were already a mod. But um, anyway, yeah, I thought that was interesting because I've never heard anybody else say like, "Oh, I came from doing readings on Reddit." So I thought, well, that's an interesting way to do it, and maybe you know, maybe it's better approach for smaller crowds or whatever. Oh, okay. So you're okay. So you weren't like a forever patron there when we all walked in. Stack my. There we go. I'm stacking my flame stones in my dodecahedron. Looks like an Olympic torch or something. Amanda's killing it over on the ticker talk. She's got more subscribers than anyone we know on like at least interpersonally too well anyway online. I know the last time I peeked in she'd already crossed 10,000. I'm not sure if she's crossed 15 yet or not, but that's still crazy. Which archangel? Metatron? Yeah, I totally concur. She does. Now I'm hearing Alan Rickman. Behold the Metatron! Metatron is an archangel and sort of the patron father of sacred geometry. So he managed to be an archangel in both Christian, well, not just both, all, um, more than two, plural, in Christian works, in Hebrew texts, and in pagan texts. Metatron manages to be an angel and that appears in all three of those things. And sacred geometry was his big, well, I mean, there's a lot of big things he's accredited with, right? But like sacred geometry, the flower of life, the tree of life, the circle of life, those are all Metatron things. And in the, why can't I think of the movie now? The name of the movie.
Dogma.
Thank you. In Dogma, where Alan Rickman plays Metatron, they have him as the voice of and messenger of God. Whereas often in other texts it's Gabriel, but in terms of archangels, Metatron is in the top three of like how many people have written and mentioned and denoted and found power in him. Yeah, so Um, even being mechanically inclined, you would love it, right? It would be like the Archangel version of like early engineering, like designers like Raphael or whatever. Or is it Michelangelo?
You mean like Leonardo?
Leonardo. Jeez, I'm going through all the Ninja Turtles, aren't I?
Well, you missed one, but yeah,
Yes, Da Vinci. Yes, with all with his sketches of basically
flying
early
machines and weapons
airplanes
and
and
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Donatello's the only one we completely ignored. But yeah, Leonardo da Vinci. Well, see, okay, you should do some Metatron reading then. It's also endless, the information you can find. Fibonacci and Metatron's cube. The golden ratio. All right. Everybody is silent and I understand there's nothing exciting here. The leader gets no love. You mean was Donatello the leader or was it Splinter? Because I loved Splinter.
Splinter was a teacher, but the leader of the brothers was Leonardo.
Yeah, I was in love with Splinter. When Splinter died, I was pretty little. I was young enough that it made I cried so much.
That was my nickname in high school. They used to call me Master Splinter because they said I looked like him. So I looked like a rat in high school, apparently.
A wizened, um, you know, martial arts brilliant rat, I suppose. But well, so that makes sense then, because I just thought he was. I was madly in love with Splinter. So there we go. That makes more sense it makes more sense every day.
I can't remember. I can't believe I remember so much about the Ninja Turtles of all
I
things.
was surprised to find that. Like, I mean, I loved it at the time for sure, but Casey Jones too, right? In the movie anyway, it was like, yay, anti-hero that joins up with the Ninja Turtles. But yeah, no, like I remember, I'm sure whatever other kid I was with must have been mortified because I think I like openly sobbed when Splinter died. It was one of those ridiculous, like over dramatic child moments, but
I
really,
don't think I've seen the movie, so I never saw when Splinter died.
I I mean, these. I'm not talking about the recent ones, quote unquote. Probably the recent ones are 15 years ago, right? But no, I'm talking about the ones in like 1987 or whatever. But
No,
um,
I haven't seen those either. I saw the cartoon.
I'm looking up when that first movie was.
They had a really campy Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren as He-Man. I remember that. It was really silly.
I'm looking for their movie franchise here. Looks like the first one was in 1990.
Okay.
Yeah, like even just the guys that did the voices and that were in the turtle costumes it'll tell you that it was definitely late 80s, early 90s because Corey Feldman was Donatello, Josh Pace, I don't really know much about him, was Raphael, um, Robbie Rist was Michelangelo, Brian Tochi was or Tochi was Leonardo, um, Kevin Clash played Splinter.
Oh, Elmo was Splinter. That's interesting.
Yeah, that sort of breaks my heart considering the path he went down.
Yeah.
Come on, Kevin Clash, way to ruin Splinter.
Huh.
Sam Rockwell was the head thug, and April O'Neil was Judith Hoag. Not sure what else she's done, but her face is very familiar. Or Hoag? Hoag? Hoag?
Were you one of those kids that liked the Power Rangers? Because I never understood
Oh,
them.
I didn't get it. I didn't. I wanted to get it because so many
Yeah, I
people,
didn't get it.
other kids were like, yes, and it was like, I don't. This is not clicking for me.
Yeah.
Two of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts really like you. Interesting. So it's the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Um, I'm trying to remember, but isn't Riley a Cancer? I think she is a Cancer, isn't she? It's either Riley or your mom or both. Okay, well, okay, that still works. The Queen of Cups, right? The Queen, because I just remembered the Queen of Cups and her being the Queen of Cups in some of your past readings. So that makes sense because it's a water queen. So um, don't want to be too annoying, but that's how she's turned up in your other readings. Just and it it lines up because that's what you were thinking about earlier. So okay, you are tired. We are tired. You pass out in peace. We love you too. I killed the stream now. Yeah, with terrible karate. I shouldn't even say karate. Ah, well there you go. Oh, that might be a yes, or you might. I feel like it's more likely that you bump into each other. That'll be interesting. Okay, I kill the stream now. Bye.
Good night.